Richard tends to oppose. Gloria tends to support. Black Agate tends to oppose. Uzo, neutral.
The situation doesn't look good.
Do you have any news, Mark?
Someone is spreading the minutes of your last meeting. I didn't get any direct evidence, but apparently every voter has read the anonymous minutes. The topic about Vertin. It has become a great disadvantage to us.
Double envelopment. A 4-4-point double low approach. No wonder they let the draft go through so easily. To reject the draft during the committee meeting does not actually address the real problem. The House of Intergrades can still resubmit the draft during the next legislative session. So she is planning for the long term. To bring down the voting stage and make it a plan that is totally abandoned.
I'm afraid so. A draft that has failed to win votes can hardly win the trust of the House's reviewers again. And of course, it won't be submitted to the committee.
Did anyone make any actual move yet?
Not yet. The minutes only changed their preferences, but the number of those who have taken a stand still remains the same.
Just as I expected. This draft is not about Vertin, but a promise to the future, about how to balance the benefits between different interest groups. To reach that, we need to meet the expectations of those groups who have a need for flexible management, and also appease conservatives and not shake their confidence in controlling the overall situation.
Actually, we do have an opportunity to change the game now.
Opportunity.
I hereby challenge Delegate Mark Hall to a public debate on the revised draft of Storm Reformation, Manpower, and Discipline. This draft of his will bring unpredictable risks to the Foundation, yet Mark himself seems completely unaware of it. I believe it is necessary to make such risks public in a legal way.
See, I knew they were going to escalate Burton's issue.
You want to accept this challenge?
All the internal media are reporting the news. If I step back, they will definitely humiliate me and take advantage of the public opinion to undermine the draft.
Mark, that's a menacing move. It is coming for us. No matter fight or flight, they have comprehensive preparation for this. I would suggest taking the long view and not jumping to conclusions.
But defense without attack will never bring us victory, Miawsy. I've always wanted an opportunity to defend the draft in public. Concerning the questions they implied about Vertin, I've collected more than enough cases to refute them. Misleading questions twist people's opinions. It's time to tell them the truth.
You have accepted it. Was it in front of the media?
I was there when Pedro challenged me. So were the media. Well, I don't think it's going to be a complete mistake.
It is a crucial debate. Do your best.
You don't have to come along with me. I'm here to repel the pests in the woods. It's part of my daily routine.
Thank you for your kindness, Miss Druvis. It is fun to stay in Miss Burton's suitcase, but I really feel like seeing the world out there. By the way, the pests you mentioned, what are they? I've heard of a kind of giant worm called the tatzelworm. They live in caves, about 2 to 5 feet long, and their heads are like cats. Be very careful if you see one. Both its skin and breath are toxic.
I have never heard of such a terrible worm. Hopefully we will not encounter any.
So, what are we disinfesting this time?
Oak processionary moths. Perhaps a few gray squirrel cubs. It's not enough to only rely on potions and arcanum to keep the woods in peace. Oak trees reside here, and everything will change with it. Animals that live in symbiosis, fungi that depend on each other. All of them will embrace diversity by the day.
Do you mean that? A group of grey fluffers flying over there.
A swarm of oak processionary moths. They are preying on something.
Miss Druvis, let's help out right away!
Finally, some interesting work. Shh! I hear something. Whose heart is
Wanna
beating
watch
so
the
loud?
aerial stunts?
Don't be so furious. Agents have guns. It's called common sense.
Haven't you eaten?
Shh! I hear something.
An eye for an eye.
Agents have guns. It's called common sense.
Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
Hey, I'm the support staff.
A tooth for a tooth. Fine.
Whose heart is beating so loud?
Don't blink.
Retreat! What? Retreat! What?
Wanna
here
watch
we
the
go.
aerial stunts? Fine. An eye for an eye. A little trick. The law is above all else.
Shh! I hear something.
Off thou go. ВДВ. Сколько побед! Thou shalt make an atonement for thy sins in full.
Swallow my exhaust! should listen to what people say. I hear something.
Wanna watch the aerial stunts?
Secrets always hide in careless words. Listen carefully. Radio waves are everywhere.
A little trick.
Everywhere.
Red 38 is about to return.
This apple is deeply grateful for what you've done. I almost thought I was caught in a nightmare. This apple has never seen so many moths. Ugh, this apple is going to have PTSD from insects.
They are very sensitive to the scent of sap. With all due respect, even among all the plants, Mr. Apple is quite attractive to insects.
So it was the scent that attracted them. No wonder Mr. Apple's invisibility didn't work. Thank goodness we're here.
Mr. Apple, did you find out anything?
Yes, Miss Druvis. I brought something insignificant. As we planned earlier, I disguised myself and reached the office building next to us. There is a device to detect arcane power at the entrance. However, this apple pried out what we needed from the guards.
What is it? Did Ms. Burton win on that voting list?
Sadly, not yet. It's not time for a formal vote. Everyone is cautious and remains neutral. Apart from that, there are some rumors in the Foundation. They are not very favorable to Vertin.
Rumors. It sounds as though the situation that Madame Z handles is more complicated and volatile than I thought. However, the votes have not been lopsided under such bad circumstances. Perhaps that means the arcanists who share our aspirations are not in the minority.
That said, I'm afraid we are starting a protracted war, Miss Druvis.
Yes, I know. I've taken inventory of the supplies. We can still hang in there for 4 weeks and a half. Although they have cut off the water and electricity supplies in the building, we can still live on the resources in the suitcase for a while. There are fewer guards destroying the woods, probably because the abatis works.
What worries this apple is that if the procedure to finalize the draft takes more than 4 weeks and a half, we would then survive by gradually shrinking our territory until Madame Z's draft is officially approved. We have chosen the thorny trail, and so we are destined to burn our boats and never look back. Vertin. She is worth fighting for. For this point, Captain and this apple have absolutely no disagreement. Then this apple will keep scouting around for updates so that we could respond in time.
What are you looking at, Miss Sotheby?
Over there. It feels like someone is staring at us.
Let's go back to the deep woods.